Well, good evening. You are tuned into an extra special Sunday evening edition of Reading with Robin. This is a first for me. I have been just following obsessively this amazing Facebook page, the Hurricane Harvey Book Club on Facebook, and the woman who started it all, Kathryn Mills, is here to join me. Speaking to her from Texas, where she's a second grade teacher. And again, I've been posting about this, Kathryn. I am blown away. Welcome to Reading with Robin.
Thank you so much, Robin.
This has just been like a full-time project for me, lurking around on your page and trying to figure out what I want to read to whoever's watching. You've tapped into so many things here. I don't even know where to start, but it's only been a week, right?
Oh, yeah, I started it last Sunday. And so I think the last time I checked, we were at 69,000.
Well, check again, baby. You're at 70,419.
Oh, my God.
And you know what? I keep checking. It's almost like I just feel so attached to this project of yours. All day long I'm telling everyone in the house this is what the page is up to because, I mean, people just want to help. This has been an amazing devastation. Everybody's watching on the news, and you're about half an hour away from Houston?
I am. I'm about 40 miles.
Okay.
We live along the Colorado River, so our area did receive flooding, but we were up on an elevated area, so our home did not immediately receive any sort of water damage or anything. But there's several teachers in Katy in the school that I work with who did get water in their homes, and several schools in our district that did receive damage. So we're waiting to see what we're going back to on. The teachers go back on Wednesday, and students come back next Monday.
Wow, yeah, I was wondering. So you put this up, and it started with one post, and only a week ago, so it was the 27th, because I was thinking, we've just been watching all of the coverage, and so many people are mobilizing and trying to find out what's really needed, what can be really useful, and so it seems longer. But then I said to myself, it was last week, and this is what this page has done and the people that you have brought together. So talk about that first post, and what did you think might happen with all of this?
Well, Saturday, they let us off on Friday just so that the storm had not hit, but just so families could start getting materials together, going to the grocery store and those sorts of things. And so once Hurricane Harvey hit, our area got the dirty side of it. So we got the rain, the tornado warnings, the watches, and actual tornadoes, and which is very uncommon for our area. So, and they were going off about every 15 to 30 minutes. And so what I was seeing on my end all day Saturday was past students, present students, friends, family, whose kids were sitting in bathrooms and under staircases and in kitchen pantries. Wow. And several of them had that common thread that they had books in their hands. And so I woke up Sunday morning and I just had it really heavy on my heart of doing something. And so the original intention of it was that I just kind of put the idea out there. And it's so funny to me because the very first post says, I'm going to kind of start this, something kind of like a book club. And I didn't even know where it was going to go. And so, and so I sent it out to about 70 families and just said, do with it what you will. You can share it with a few friends. I had, one of my students post right off the bat, and I thought, oh, my goodness, it's going to be sitting there. I need other friends to hop on. She's not the only one doing it. And then it just, it got so big, and it became this community of readers and just this positive influence. And I've just had the best response from people. It's just, things can get out on social media, which has always been my concern. This week I've just been, so nervous about that first negative post.
Oh, we didn't get any, did we, I hope?
No.
Good.
And,
okay,
the biggest concern that people have said is just the the security of it. And I realized Tuesday, Wednesday that it had gotten bigger than just me. And so I started calling friends, lifelong friends, and I was like, okay, I need some of my people. And so we were going in and just, because it was a closed group, so we were going in and just making sure, if anybody came up, we were going into their Facebook pages. So if anybody wonders, we've been stalking you.
Well, that's good. You got to be stalking. And I'm speaking to second grade teacher stalker.
Exactly.
My new friend from Texas, Kathryn Mills. And that was one of my questions. Like, what is the sense of how it gets monitored? What's that responsibility? And, as things sort of get away from us, it's like you start something with an intention and you don't really know. And to me, that is the most magical and the most awesome part about social media used for good, that you can mobilize people. I mean, you have people from all over the world on this page. It is, and people with all sorts of different backgrounds and learning differences, and they're these sweet children in like jammies in their beds, and this one little girl, I don't know, she had some like blue gauzy like backdrop. I mean, people are going, they're so creative, and
they are dressed. Yeah, they're dressing up and making costumes, and
it's crazy. I see the TV series already. I'm like, I'm lucky I'm getting to talk to Kathryn before this gets wild. But this community of readers and this idea, and this is what Reading with Robin's been about for 15 years, is that we're so connected by the stories, the people who tell them, the people who listen to them, and just this culture of storytelling of how really alike everybody really is. And so seeing this play out, I mean, I'm watching this, I forget this little boy's name with the green T-shirt that says, "I'm not weird." I love this little boy. I mean, there's some of these kids from Pennsylvania.
It says, "I'm not weird, I'm just," or something about the addition, or whatever. And so I put on the post, I said, "Well, you're a sweet addition."
I love that. And people are, and the kids are probably so excited to see who's watching the videos, the kids, the adults. I reached out to a principal that I was, his were really amazing, and just all sorts of stories, but also people sharing, like going back to their favorites, their childhood favorites, books they're sharing with the children in their lives, and it sort of gives you that opportunity. I am just blown away. I know that the publishers have jumped in, and book clubs and all sorts of people. Let the audience know. You're tuned into Reading with Robin. I'm chatting with Kathryn Mills. We're talking about Hurricane Harvey Book Club. It started just a week ago. What can people do, and how can they best get involved?
What I need right now, the intention of it whenever I started it was that I was going to keep my students interested in reading while we were on this break, and that I go into each one and make a positive comment about just, encouraging them to read and just, getting them excited about it. And that quickly got to where there was no way that I could do that. And so right now, really and truly, that is what I need. I just need people going in and making comments and hitting like and encouraging these kiddos, because I've gotten so many sweet messages from mamas that, I have a, saying I have a reader who was, really shy or really nervous about reading. One little boy last night before Kohl's closed, that they went to go get some books there. That's what he wanted to spend his money on, so that he could come and make, and make some videos for the evening to post on the site. So
love it.
Just continuing to encourage those kiddos, because now it's turned into that these sweet kids are going to school now and they're excited about reading. It's kids with dyslexia who wouldn't read in front of a class of 20, but will read, in a group of 70,000.
It's climbing as we're talking. You're at. I love numbers and just watching that. But you're more than when we started. It was like I'll have to check 70,400 some odd. It keeps coming up on my feed because once you join the group, and people can join. I've been adding people, but you can also. You're up to 70,467. I don't remember what we were when we started talking. 10 minutes ago. But it just keeps going. So you can add friends in. Is that how it works? Or you can just add them in, add members in?
You can invite them, which actually helps out for me because that's one of the things that we look for is do you already have people in the group that you know that they invited you into it?
Okay, good.
So one of the red flags is if it's just we've put 3 questions out there for you to answer, and it's basically to understand that, 1, it's a G-rated site, and that your intention is to encourage these kids through reading, and also, 2, that you will not advertise on the site.
Yes, that's very important. That's very important.
Huge, because the publishers have been amazingly generous to us to allow this to go on for as long as it has. So and how are the publishers jumping in? And just so I can see if I can do anything else to be helpful. What are they? Well, they are. Whenever we first started this project, we got with several of the major publishers just to let them know this is definitely a project that for a reason and a season. And so they were very generous with that. The site is actually going to come down on next Sunday. And so because for one thing, this little teacher from Katy, Texas, I've got to get back to what I was called to do, which is to be a teacher, and we're going to be taking on so many sweet kiddos that perhaps have been displaced by flooding.
Sure.
And so that needs to become my concern. But I have started a Twitter account and it's posted on the main site just to allow teachers to connect with each other and mamas and daddies to connect with each other to keep a project like this going or to post ideas to keep it going. So
okay, good. Because and for more information, go to Hurricane Harvey Book Club. And I've been, as we're talking, I have been inviting people, so I see. Then I need to approve them and see who they are, I guess. And there are librarians on here. There are authors. There are children that have written their own book. I mean, there's just everything. Principals, and I saw there was a message there from you talking about what you were asking of the teachers. Do you want to share that?
Yes, and so I went ahead and posted yesterday that the site would be closing down in a week, but that I would be posting challenges throughout the week so that people could stay connected. So the first challenge for today was for teachers to go in if they wanted to connect with schools or with a classroom in another state to post their school and to post their grade level or their grade level that they taught and what state that they lived in, so that teachers could go in there and make those connections with teachers and perhaps keep this going as far as a virtual book club between the 2 classrooms.
Oh, I like that. When there's so much that we can all learn from each other, and when children get to, one of my favorite things is going during reading week and reading to the kids in those 8, kindergarten through 4 or 5. They love to share their favorite books and their stories, and then the conversations between the kids as these titles come up. It's just like marvelous to watch this unfold. So it's kind of what I feel like I'm doing on the Facebook page, and I am speaking with Kathryn Mills, the brainchild behind Hurricane Harvey Book Club. She's a second-grade teacher in Katy, Texas, and you're going back to school, you said Wednesday, and then the kids come the following week? Is that it?
The kids will come on the 11th. We go back on Wednesday just to get everything in order and get ready for those sweet babies to come back in our classrooms. For us, we were only in school for about a week and a half before all of this happened.
Oh, right. And you started early. Okay, you started. We're on the East Coast. We're later. Okay, so you had already started, and that's okay. That makes sense. I understand now with the timeline because the kids around here have just gone back or are just going back. So you were there, a week or so. Week and a half before this hit. And are there supplies and things that I know there's so many things coming, and I know there's something I saw on your page about gift cards with one of the bookstores, and so books can be donated.
Yes,
are there other specific
Blue Willow.
things? Okay.
Blue Willow is the bookshop that compiled a list of organizations that are going to be available for book donations, the purchasing of gift cards so that they can purchase books to replenish. So that is on there. I know that there have been a few posts on the site of just, teachers saying, hey, we would love to adopt the classroom, put your information in the comments. So it has made that connection with teachers in our area that weren't affected with teachers who, lost books. I mean, that's the thing about a teacher's classroom is that those classroom libraries are sitting on the floor so that those kids can have access to the book.
When something like this happens and the devastation is just, it's endless, really. And so when you see something specifically that needs doing that you can be a part of and help in just some way, it's, everybody doing a little bit makes such a huge difference. So all those books and everything that will need to be replaced. I'm looking at these two little girls who are reading together. Wow, from the East. I don't know. I'm just so taken with this. I can't keep my eyes from these amazing little kids and the stories that they're sharing and what they're putting into it. There's just so much heart. And they're in their rooms, and there's animals, and and from all over. Where are some of the places that you've seen people read from that have specifically just shocked you or you weren't expecting?
I mean, we've had people from Bulgaria and Israel and the Ukraine and Paris and Moscow and China.
Wow.
I mean, we had a little boy from Israel reading a book in Spanish. And so we've had a ton of people that have been doing books in sign language and reading things that we would never be exposed to. I mean, we had a girl earlier who was reading a book from the rocking chair that her grandmother and great-grandmother used to read to her from.
Oh, my goodness.
And so, it was... Yeah, it's so, just the fact, just like you were saying, that these high school students and college students are getting to revisit their favorite childhood memories and
I love it.
being so courageous for these littles. So it's been really, really good.
It is, and I am trying to decide what I have to do this. Well, now that I know there's only a week left, so if you want to jump in and do this, you have to get to the Hurricane Harvey Book Club page, scroll around, and make some comments. And Kathryn was just saying that's something that we can do to help because you've got stuff to do too. This is 24/7. I can imagine.
It's
what your week's been like, right?
The first 3 days. Whenever it first took off, and then it became it started as a heart project, and then it became something that I recognized immediately that it was a need for something that maybe had not happened before. And so then, as overwhelming as it became, the thought of, because it would have been so easy. I mean, I absolutely, once that feeling came about, I could have been like, this was not a good idea and shut it down. But I just saw that it turned into something, completely different. I mean, we tell our students all the time as teachers, books take you away. You can go on grand adventures, which is what all of those kiddos needed right then. And
it was like the perfect thing to have. To put it out there, right, and see what people did, how they took hold of it. And as you were saying, these kids were with their books, just sort of hugging their books. So it was just the perfect coming together at such a difficult time. And now, are you one of these people, so you say you got this idea like Saturday night, you woke up Sunday morning to do this. Are you an idea person? Are you always like, I can't imagine this was the only one of these kinds of things that's come your way?
I think that first off, I feel like just raised with a heart to serve, just wanting to, I figured out that I'm very much of a South person. I want people. I want there to be harmony. I want, I'm comfortable in that type of environment. And so I just, I really just think it was, for me, it was a God wink because it really, there's not a better explanation for it because it wasn't anything that it had bothered me Saturday just seeing it, just because, I was worried about those kiddos. But it really just became this is what you need to do.
I cannot imagine your next project. I have to take note, see what Kathryn Mills comes up with next. So you'll be in school with your second graders, and I still think about my second grade teacher. Was one of my favorite teachers ever.
Aww.
There's so many moments from second grade that continue to stand out or come up in some way. A song can come on that she would play for us, like during quiet time, and I will immediately think of the second grade teacher. It was such a big impact, and that's such a great time for readers. They've started reading, they all start at different times, but by second grade, they're really, first grade certainly, really reading. So
right. It kind of converts from that learning to read to reading to learn stage.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Oh, it is a magical time. I just love second graders. And I am speaking with Kathryn Mills. We're talking about the Hurricane Harvey Book Club. So this will be up for another week. Is that what you're saying?
It will.
Okay, so then I can only imagine what your 70,000-plus members will grow to. And check out the page, and you can see there's a video on top of Kathryn talking a little bit about what's going on in this page. And scroll around, and please leave messages for the kids that are reading and the adults. I'm sure everybody's checking to see how their posts are doing and who's liking them, and I think it's something that we can all do. And as far as you were saying the bookstore is doing gift certificates, and they're taking orders with that.
I do have another link within the comments of that pinned post at the top, and it is in addition to the Blue Willow, where that is absolutely a great organization as far as having that list compiled. There is also a link for I have done shirts for Custom Ink, and all of the proceeds for that are going to Books Between Kids.
Oh,
and
good.
it's a local organization, and that's another thing. I put it on there, and my goal was that I would sell 150 shirts. That was kind of my hoorah moment, and over 1,000 shirts have been sold. I think it's up to $20,000 that's been raised for it.
That is amazing. Now, where is that? Because I see fundraising T-shirt links, but I don't see maybe it's in the comments. I'm just looking
in the comments, and so if you look at that video into the comments, it's in there.
Yes, I see it. Okay, so click here to support Books Between Kids. I see that. Okay, that is really an amazing thing. I will post that along with this audio when I post it. It'll be up on iTunes. And I wouldn't be a Reading with Robin program, special edition that is. I've never done a special edition, Reading with Robin, on a Sunday night. Yeah, I'm so excited because it comes out on Tuesdays, and, new books come out on Tuesdays, and that's when the podcast comes out. But, this is happening now, and I am inviting friends and sharing this with all of my readers. So I'm glad to be doing this now. But what did you read over the summer? Anything that you read that you'd like to share with the audience?
Oh, my goodness. I read a ton of kids' books over the summer. So,
you can share a kid's book. That's fine.
I know. I've been reading, some reading strategy books. It seems like there's so many. I went to a conference in Las Vegas, which was on differentiated learning. So we did a ton of article reading there. And so for all of those kiddos that think that their teachers during the summer have that break, we are lifelong learners, and so
there's no break for teachers. Never.
I know. So we are constantly just evolving and growing. Now, I will say, I love biographies and those sorts of stories, and so Fixer Upper they have a book on their relationship and just their connection with each other, and with just how close they are to the Lord. And I have really enjoyed that one this summer. And then all of these kids' books that I'm reading right now on this video, it's been sweet to revisit them because they're books that I read to my own kids, because all of my other books are at school. And so I've really had to dig through the books that I had at home, and so that's been really sweet just to be able to, revisit some Aesop's fables and those types of things. So.
All the classics. Oh, thank you. I mean, that is just one of my favorite things. When I run into people, that's what we want to talk. What are you reading? What are you reading? What are you suggesting? What's a great book? And I'm thinking of all the children's books that we've loved so much and that we've shared, passed along, and going through the Hurricane Harvey book club online, revisiting some of those. There was one that I did not know. If you give a dog, I forget which one. It must be from, if you give a moose a muffin, if you give...
Yes, that's if you give a dog a donut.
I didn't know that one. See, depending on how old your children are, we got dropped off, I think, at Pig a Pancake. That might have been the last one. Did not know there was a dog a donut. I was very bummed to know that I missed a book from that, Laura Numeroff, I think.
Yeah. And that's what's been really fun, too, is that as teachers, I'm like, okay, totally adding that to my library. Okay, that one's a really good one. And so it becomes, this advertising almost for these authors. And I cannot say enough about the authors who have gotten on there and who have read their stories. And they are making connections and making comments to people that are making comments with them and interacting.
It's just amazing.
And it's so good.
And kids must be, and adults too, thinking, wow, this author, because it's just, it's like otherworldly to some people, must be thinking, wow, they wrote to me. I see Grace Lynn, who's reading, and I haven't seen her in a long time. She's an author illustrator, and she read. I do know her. I think we interviewed many, many years ago. But I loved seeing people pop up. But also the monster at the end of the book, the Sesame Street one with Grover on the front.
Yes.
I think I tagged my sister in that because I remember that was like her. We shared books, but like that was hers, and that was one of our favorites.
So funny.
So I tagged her, and hopefully they'll jump on. And I know some of the schools around here and the teachers and librarians who are on my page were looking at it. So if you're listening, you've got a week left. Go on to the Hurricane Harvey Book Club, and each day also Kathryn will be posting different things you can do and ways to keep connected. And I'm really just, like I said, blown away and really just energized by what I see coming together and unfolding in such a positive and meaningful way. And, we hope that everybody who has been affected knows that people care and that there are real things that are being done. It's one thing to care and more to do, and, people just hopefully will will continue to pour out their support. And if the asks are out there, I think people will join in, because it really is an amazing community, and we all really come together. So this just exemplifies the whole thing, Kathryn. It is truly amazing. So you're up all night answering people, and
I am. Getting back to a regular sleep schedule is going to be something very interesting for us.
Let us know how that goes, okay?
I know. But we do want, everybody in our area just wants, and on the book club, just want you guys to know that, we are feeling it. We are feeling, loved right now. And, this sweet little group has done exactly that. We I think, have an act to serve in our hearts. Everybody does. It's just how you're going to use it. And, whenever things like this happen, you kind of have that moment of, well, what can I do? And I think that what this group allowed was, it wasn't that it was this giant gesture, but it was. And so it was something that the kids could do. It was something that parents could do, and it was and it is helping. And it's just such a simple act of just connecting with others through pages of a book, which is, the coolest thing.
I could not agree more. And I thank you so much for taking time out of this project to chat with us and Reading with Robin listeners. I know we're going to enjoy this and jump on. And it's Hurricane Harvey Book Club. It's on Facebook. And Kathryn, it's such an honor really to get to speak to you. And you'll be hearing from me. I'll be posting and looking for a book to read and and joining in and keep us posted on what we can do or if there's ways the authors can help. And I thank you so much for your time, and let us know about that regular sleep schedule when
I know.
when you achieve it.
I'll let you know how that goes.
Yeah, I would love to know that. That's a really big secret. That's about as magical as the book. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Robin. You have a great evening.